Hello once again, welcome back to Spit Your Old Mafia's replay analysis. This is another ace tanker of mine in the WZ-131 GFT. And as I said before, I really do love this tank. We're going to go ahead and jump right into it. We're going to talk about the team compositions here. Also, that's the thing I do at this pretty much. I always make sure this is enabled because I don't really care about people's names. I only care about what tank they're driving and what position they're in on the map. It doesn't matter if a player is good, because if a player is good, they're probably not going to be overexposing themselves. And if they do expose themselves, then you treat them like any other player, right? And you take the shot. Don't be focusing people just because they're good. Do what you need to do in order to keep yourself safe and get damaged safely while not exposing yourself. But anyways, first thing I'm going to do is look at the team composition. This time it's only one artillery, thankfully, but it is a bishop. So what that means is this bishop can shoot multiple times, but it does not have very good, range. However, we're probably going to be aggressive. We're probably going to get in range. The reason why we're going to be aggressive is because we're top tier. There's a bunch of, mediums and whatnot. So we basically, I'll put it this way. Generally when you play like higher tiers and there's heavy tanks, you're going to want to take your tank destroyer over here and play on this line. If you're not, top tier, if you're not in the higher tiers, then what you're gonna end up having to do, you're gonna have to find other ways to play this map, like whether or not you want to play back here or not, you want to be aggressive, play on the ridge. There are many different things that you can do. But when I look at this, the first thing I think is, hey, I could probably get some shots on people if I come up here on the ridge. I do have the camo to get the first shot off, or I could just climb, shoot, and then climb back, the basic stuff. This tank destroyer is really fast, so if I do climb the ridge at different points, and people might not be expecting it, and I might be able to get some decent shots off on him. And it's 250 alpha at tier 6 with more than enough penetration to go through people, so we'll just see how it plays out and see what I do. Okay, so I know I have the M7 here with me. The M7 is now a light tank, I believe. Man, I love that tank back when it was a medium tank, but I digress. Anyways, we're expecting him to come up here and spot, so whatever he spots immediately, we'll probably get shots on, so that's what I should be expecting here. Also, if you're gonna come up here, in my opinion, if you have gun depression, like 8 degrees or more, you can use this side. If you don't have 8 degrees or more, you're gonna want to come over to this side. You see how this is lowered over here, so I think I do come over to this side. I'm trying to see if he spots anything first, because if he spots anything, they're gonna spot him first, then I'll get shots on him, or I can just come up over here if nothing's spotted. And that's another thing, as I mentioned in the previous replays, make sure you do knock down these trees so you can use them as camo. Yes, it does let players know that you're there, they see the tree falling, but you can also use that as a distraction too, because you see I'm not spotted. I can just go to the left and they'll think, hey, someone's over here, I'm not over there, right? So there's a bunch of different things you can do. This is a PvP game, you do have to outsmart people sometimes, so there's some tricks that you can do. There, I noticed that he was firing. He was probably done firing at that point, so I went ahead, went up and took a shot at him. Took off about half his HP in one shot, so that's why this tank is pretty good in my opinion. I had just enough camo to get up there without getting spotted instantly. I didn't get spotted until I really crested it and knocked that tree over. At that point, knocking over a tree isn't really that useful because you have to have the tree already knocked over to do something like this. But do take advantage of people not looking at you. Shoot them when they're not looking at you. Even if it's for a brief fraction of a second, you'll be surprised how many times you get a snapshot in where they're not looking at you and they won't be able to fire back in time. So do keep things like that in mind. So even though I'm in a turretless tank, you still see I'm able to take advantage of things like this. And you'll notice that I'm driving back. The reason why I'm doing this is because there's a bishop in this game, and he can fire a lot. I do the same thing if there's like 2 or 3 already in this game. You'll see a lot of good players do this in their mediums too. They will literally fall back and then circle around. The reason why you do that is so you don't get hit by arty. There's the bishop now, so like I said, he's on this flank, so we know he's going to be shooting at us if we get spotted. M7 is doing a spotting run. I don't know why. It's pretty dangerous. He's kind of throwing away his tank, but at the same time, he gives us so much information by telling us all these tanks are here. So while he's about to die, he just gave the team a massive amount of information, and good players can react towards this. So this tells me that a lot of people were planning on poking, and that this was indeed a good position to come in. So after I could just play this ridge line and get shots on these guys all day, basically. This also tells me that they're highly likely to come in this direction, so we're going to see how this plays out. And here I'm not really selecting targets based on priority. I'm selecting targets based on what I can see and just distributing the damage. So if you do want to focus fire here, I would, like I said, I would always suggest killing one shots first. That's about the only priority I have here. And then you're going to notice that they're trying to push the left flank, right? So we're paying attention to that. We're coming over here to make sure that they don't do that. They might YOLO over that ridge, and if they do YOLO over that ridge, I need to help out this T-34. Another thing is, I didn't get spotted there because that tank doesn't have a lot of view range, and I do have good camo, but when in doubt, pull back. If you think you're going to get spotted, get out of there after you fire. Don't stay there, because then you're sitting in the open, you're sitting duck, basically. And people will shoot at you, and especially artillery will shoot at you if you sit in the open like that. This tank doesn't have the armor to get hit by any of the arties, so... Alright, if I make a prediction about what's going to happen here, my prediction is there's probably going to be a fight that breaks out over here. The mediums will probably realize by now that we own this ridge line, so the only play that they can really make is going this way. So another reason why I moved over here is because I realized that as well. They probably realized this too, and they're probably about to try to come up here instead, because that's what I would do as well, but while I would do that, I would also understand that players can counter that. Like, if they're paying attention, they would definitely counter that. So, in my opinion, they kind of lost this game because they gave up the ridge line. Now, while they could come up here, they also have the choice of coming down here to deal with them. And if they do that, then we can push forward and we can start giving them crossfire. Because we could give them crossfire, I believe, going down here isn't the best option. That's why going up here is a better option. Check to see how many tanks is up here, and at least give them a chance of winning the game, right? But we do have a tank sure sitting back here. He's waiting as well for them to make a play like that. So unfortunately for them, if they do make that play, they're going to be countered. If they come up here, they're countered. If they go down there, you don't sit back here. You go up here and you start putting in pressure. You start getting side shots into them over here. Or alternatively, you can finish off who's over here, and then you can start pincering them here. So there's multiple ways to basically counter the red team at this point. They're kind of screwed. I always say if we lose this game at this point, we threw the game. Also, don't go beach. There's only one circumstance that going beach works. That is if you come here, get early damage, and then fuck off and leave. The reason why you do that is because anyone up here can choose to come down if there's a lot of people, pushing. And at that point, you've been flanked. A lot of the time, you don't even have to come down to get shots down here. And a lot of tanks don't even have the gun elevation to look up and shoot those things. So you get screwed from that. Or if he wants to push over here, this right here will literally screw you over, or tanks with gun depression could shoot you down here. Basically, all of this is a funnel. So you're going down a funnel to basically get destroyed. That's why you don't go beach and stay there. If your tank is really slow, obviously you can't come here to get early shots. That's a very bad idea. So generally, don't go beach. If you have enough mobility, go beach, get your shots done, then leave beach. That's about all you're gonna do. So I would say pick a better play, besides going beach. Generally, you want to play in this area, this area, this area, this area, or that area. Those are basically the four areas you're going to play, or back here, Basically, TDs play back here. They shoot this area, and this area is mostly for heavies. This is another completely different area to play in. Then you have this area, and then that area. So those are the areas that you're likely to play in. Sometimes TDs play back here. In my opinion, the only way this is useful is if they're going to push in. If they're not going to push in, this is a useless position, and honestly, you'd probably be better off playing up here. I've never played back here, and I would not play this position. The only way I would play this position is if they're pushing in. I know they're pushing in. There's a lot of bushes and stuff back here, and I can help my allies. But he's been sitting here all game, so he's kind of done nothing, really, so... yeah, you might have shots on that Crusader, but that's about it. So this game has been going on for 2 minutes and he's practically done nothing. One thing I would recommend is to try to keep your gun firing, because if you're in a position like this, generally you're waiting on your teammates to lose a flank. You don't want to lose a flank. Help the team keep flanks versus losing them. Now, sometimes it is a good idea to go ahead and lose a flank and then bait the enemy to push into you. That does work. There's nothing wrong with a strategy like that. But this is a pretty aggressive game, so we don't want to be just giving up flanks this game. So, this is how the game is flowing from what I can see. So, let's see how it plays out. And you see me move even further to the left here, and the reason why is simply because I am expecting them to play this flank now. And lo and behold, look at what we have here. They're trying to rush the T-34. We move further to the left to support him. I don't need to sit here and, do nothing. I do want to move forward. The reason why I do want to move forward and start shooting them is, one, they have a bishop. So sitting here, they're going to spot me because you see there's no bushes right here, right? So they're definitely going to spot me at this range, so I don't want to just sit here. And also, the closer I get, the better chance I have of hitting them. They're probably not going to pay attention to me because they're YOLOing him and they want to kill him, so I can support him by coming in, second. They're going to have shots on them as well, and so will our TD, so they're kind of going to die. And that was a poorly aimed shot by me. I believe our T-34 is going to die because we missed that shot. He died anyway. It's okay. And here, don't be afraid to ram people, because ramming them will kill them. See, our T-34 is a one shot, so just ram him, get it over with. However, do not do this if you're playing a very, very, very light tank and you're trying to ram something like an OI. Guarantee you the OI is going to take no damage and you're going to kill yourself in the process. So do ram smartly, but he's a moderately no weighing medium tank. He's not that heavy. So even though I don't weigh anything, if I ram him at a decent speed, he's probably gonna die, right? So there you see he died by ramming. So now he's dead. I lost a little bit of health for it. But you know what? Our T-34 is still alive. So I think it was worth it. We saved the tank. He still has his gun in the game. That's really going to help out. There's been many games where, like, if you watch good players, we have really bad starts, lose all of our hit points to a one shot, and then we still get an ace tanker because we keep our guns in the game. That's the importance of staying alive, is you still have a gun, you can still support your team, you can still track people, you can still do damage. Sometimes you can still spot, you can be a sacrificial lamb. Like, staying alive is very, very, very important, and keeping your teammates alive too is also important. Try to keep your teammates alive as much as possible. Alright, this guy's by himself. He's basically a one shot, so yeah, just deal with him and move on, right? Now it's time to, pick up the pace. You notice that a lot of their tanks are dead or close to being one shots. And if we count on the map, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's see how many tanks they got left. They got 10 tanks left. 2 of them have not been spotted. I believe this is one of them. This dude is probably not sitting back here. If he's sitting back here, he's a stupid player in my opinion, because he should have been helping his team. The best way he can help his team is probably by being over here shooting our allies right now. So my guess of where he is he's either over here getting ready to shoot them, or he's over here shooting them. This would be a really good position to shoot him from. So I'm expecting him to be over there. Who else spotted? I don't even know. Oh, the duck. I don't know what the duck is. Um, Based on this team composition, where's the duck? How the hell am I supposed to know? He's in a duck and you expect him to be like close to the front lines, but he's not. So the only place he could be is like camping back here somewhere. But yo, I could say, like, I just don't know where he is. So we're gonna have to find out. Okay, that was kind of dangerous to do because he has an autoloader and he reloaded. We don't have any armor, but I knew my shot had a good chance of hitting, so I went ahead and dealt with him. Now we gotta deal with this bishop over here because he can one-shot us pretty easily. You're gonna notice I was driving forward towards the dead tank. That was to make sure the bishop couldn't hit me as easily. Do try to make yourself a harder target to hit. Don't make yourself really easy. Okay, what I will say is that I noticed the bishop wasn't looking in my direction, and because of that I stopped and aimed and fired. If the bishop was looking in my direction, I would never have stopped. I would have just fired, now moved to the left or the right to avoid him shooting at me, because the shell can travel through the air before if he shoots before he dies. So okay, at this point, I'm trying to flank those 2 enemies that are spotted, so that's the next play I'm going to make. This game is pretty much over. This should really kill this T50 and KVT over here without me. I'm not expecting damage on them. So our focus is completely over here. We are expecting the duck to be over here because he's not going to go beach, right? That thing goes like, what, 10 kilometers per hour? Oh hey, look at what we spotted. We spotted the duck. He's at the back of the map. I don't know why he's here, but okay, I did not I did not expect this, and I was gunning for them, so I just adapted to the situation on the fly. He's a 2-shot for me, and I have more than enough penetration to go straight through him. It's a tier 6 TD. And there he got lit on fire the first hit. That was pretty lucky and pretty unfortunate for him. We would have dealt with him anyway, but with him being dead, that means we get more damage focusing on other tanks now. So let's move on. There you see the Ike AV. He's where I thought he would be, because that's where I would be too. It's a pretty good position, but now that we've spotted him, he can't sit there anymore. Alright, he's still trying to get a shot off before he dies. We're going to finish him, hopefully, before he does. And that's another thing. Don't underestimate your opponent's DPM, because it really depends on the tank. You do need to understand what tanks you're facing, what their DPM is, so that way you understand whether or not you keep sitting there in a situation like that. Now, I don't know if he was AFK or not, because he's still in the cap, right? But, seriously, I've had so many people underestimate my DPM, and I did play the Yag Tiger 88, and I do have a few ace tankers to show you of that tank, and there I will show you like people are underestimating my DPM, and they paid for it, like legitimately with their lives. My Yag Tiger 88 has 3.7k DPM. It's one of the highest DPMs in the game. So if you're in a paper tank and you're thinking you're gonna out trade a tank with 1500 HP and 3.7k DPM, yeah, don't do that. You're gonna die, almost guaranteed you're gonna die. But a lot of people did do that, and well, they paid the price. Okay, that there is basically the end of the game. The KV2 should die to them, and so should the T50. So this is a pretty good example of how to be aggressive and how to be aggressive smartly. It shows you the work you can do on this ridge line, how you should properly play this ridge line. You have to be very quick, and you have to have good reactions to what people are doing to play this ridge line correctly. We predicted that they were going to push into us, and then we countered them. We were very aggressive in return, and then we basically came around, caught them in a pincer movement, and finished off their tank destroyers over here. And that pretty much sums up this game. It was really just mostly recognizing battle flow and taking advantage of the flow of the battle. And that's why we got our ace tanker this time. If you did like this video, don't forget to subscribe. I'm also streaming, so catch me on the Lemon 007. That will be in the description below. So thank you for watching, and have a good day.